Emily from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, January 21st. So welcome to the new moon in Aquarius day. We have the moon shifting out of this Capricorn energy, going void, of course, at 10:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be locking into the Aquarian energy at 1:30 p.m. again Eastern Standard Time. We do have our new moon in Aquarius peaking in its energy at 1 degree 33 minutes, taking place at 3:54 p.m. again Eastern Standard Time. If you have not listened to the astro forecast for Aquarius season, please go ahead and do that. If you have not listened to the astro forecast for the new moon in Aquarius, please go do that. Please download your moon guide. Do the work. This is a very powerful moon energy for us to tap into. I would hate to see you sleep on this beautiful, brilliant energy to get in alignment with what it is that we want to take action on and what it is that we actually want to manifest. And of course, if you want even a deeper dive into what this means for you, you can download your zodiac forecast and explore all of January's energies and how they've actually impacted you. Of course, this huge weekend coming at us with not only the new moon in Aquarius, but also Uranus going direct shortly after the new moon peaks, which puts us in a brand new 3-month window of having all planets direct. You best believe we are going to see a lot of productivity, a lot of progress in a very short amount of time. So there are 10 different aspects here today, and 9 of them involve the moon. The moon, while still in Capricorn energy, is going to make a very positive interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion. What we got going on here is we're very focused on our long-term goals. We're focused on the opportunities that we want to jump into, we want to create. We're focused on the amount of growth that we are about to go through by putting ourselves out there in a very positive way. We are feeling very grounded from that Capricorn energy, but very optimistic and confident that we absolutely have what it takes in order to stay the course and actually see this plan through. The moon does kind of make an awkward interaction with Venus. Of course, Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money. She's in Aquarian energy, a little bit emotionally detached so that she can have a bigger, broader perspective on what and who needs to stay, needs to go in order to provide a little bit more safety, security, and stability in her life. This is an awkward interaction because we're more focused on our goals as far as money matters go, careers go, bringing our dreams to life go. We're not as focused on relationships as we actually should be. And a lot of that is because many of us are avoiding the topics and themes that we should be kind of dealing with head on, that we will eventually address as we move throughout this next week, where Venus and Saturn kind of bump into each other and we get a little bit of a reality check where our relationships are concerned. But right now, we don't really have the time to jump into our emotions, and therefore there is this disconnect between the moon in Capricorn energy and Venus in Aquarian energy. The moon does go ahead and sextile, which is a beautiful energy, with Neptune, who is in its place of power of Pisces energy. Neptune is about dreams, imagination, fantasy, creativity. And because the moon is very grounded out in Capricorn energy, we're looking to build, we're looking to create. We want to project ourselves so freaking far in the future that we are excited about what it is that we're about to accomplish. And many of us need a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of motivation, and we're definitely going to gain a little bit of that through this Neptune aspect. The moon goes ahead, bumps into Mars in not the nicest way. Mars is, again, yes, direct, a little bit frustrated, a little bit agitated. Why? Because he wants to move forward so freaking badly, and he's just not being supported in doing so. We're really, really not in a time of action. We're almost in a time of action, but we're not there yet. And he's getting ants in his pants, and he's frustrated. He just wants to take action. He doesn't really care what action he takes. He doesn't even care about the aftermath. And the moon in Capricorn is so freaking focused on the consequences of our actions that there is no chance in hell that we are going to make any kind of move unless it is well thought out, aligning with the stars, gifted with support from the cosmos. It ain't happening. So therefore, emotionally speaking, we're shutting down this impulse, this idea, this inspiration that we want to take action on, we have to shut it down because we can't take action on it just yet. Keep in mind, we're in the new moon energy. There's darkness in the sky. There's no light. We would just be taking action in the darkness, which is never a good idea. And, for the most part, this is a time of visualization. So let's take that restlessness, those ants in our pants, and actually bring them up to the highest form of our intellect and our mental plane and visualize what it is that we want to take action on, how we would take action if we were able to do so, and the results that we would actually create if we acted on impulse versus acted on strategy. The moon goes ahead, bumps into Saturn in not the nicest way. Saturn rules over Capricorn energy, so this is a little bit of an intense run-in. And let me just say that at this particular point in time, we are going to be very heavily weighted with the roles, with the responsibilities, with our obligations, with our commitment, with the sense of responsibility just in life. Our to-do list is very long. We don't really have the energy or the motivation to tackle any of it. We're kind of, shedding the skin of the negative funk that we've been in, but we're in the dark phase of the moon, so we're not going to shed it all right now. And there's just this immense, I'm going to say, negativity that comes in. The funk gets thick, it gets heavily weighted, and it doesn't feel good. And it reminds us of all the things that we have to do and all the things that we should do, which takes us away from doing all the things that we want to do. And that is just an absolute bummer. Now, 10:53 a.m., like I mentioned, this is when the moon is going to go void, of course. But the last aspect that the moon is going to make before going void, of course, is a conjunction with Pluto, the great transformer, who, if you downloaded your moon guide or listened to the astro forecast, you would know is a key star in this new moon movie that we are about to watch. And he brings a whole change of heart. He brings a change of perspective. He brings a change in energy, in power, in authority. He is essentially bossing us up. We are, getting this level of empowerment just as the moon goes void. And anytime that the moon goes void, regardless of what sign it's in, we just kind of start falling apart. Things are very uncertain, very shaky, very unstable. We question everything. Anything that we were sure of, we start to just rip apart and dissect. So the fact that the last aspect that the moon is going to be making is with Pluto speaks volumes on the amount of change that is going to take place in a short amount of time. And essentially speaking, the changes they're already starting, and they're starting within us. So then the moon goes void. And while the moon is void, we have Venus bumping into Neptune in a very awkward way. Here's what I will say. Normally, Venus and Neptune, when they come together, it's a huge manifesting capability because Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Venus rules over our lower level avatar, while Neptune is the higher level avatar. It connects us with dreams and inspirations and, ideas and magic and all that kind of stuff. Venus, being the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure and money, she rules over this egoic avatar. She brings new worth and value into our lives. And she can bring to life what gets kind of planted as a seed in our higher magical selves, which Neptune rules over. But this is an awkward interaction, which means that we're not really looking at manifesting right now. We're looking at the difference that we're currently experiencing. So Venus is in Aquarian energy. She's really emotionally detached so that she can see her life and her relationship dynamics very clearly. She's recognizing where it is that boundaries have been tested and in some cases totally destroyed, especially in her personal energetic, I'm going to say, exchanges in her personal relationships. And it doesn't feel good. We're realizing where it is that we have to stop pouring into people that it don't pour into us. We're starting to realize that we have to stop doing what we think is expected of us or what we think other people want us to do instead of pouring into ourselves and doing what we need ourselves to do, right? We have to start being as accountable to ourselves as we have allowed other people kind of take on that powerful position in our lives. And so Neptune is kind of bringing a lot of feeling into it, a lot of thought, trying to bring the healing, but we're really not on the same page. We, in our vision, in our dream, are conjuring up a vision that is so detached and so disconnected from our current circumstances and reality that we're kind of uneasy about recognizing what it is that we want, need, and desire moving forward. And therefore, we are kind of distractible. We don't really want to take a good look at what it is that we're lacking, because the minute that we realize what it is that we're allowing to take place that we're unhappy with is the minute that we have a choice point to either let it continue to do what it's doing or to boss up and implement a boundary, and in some cases set that baby free in order for us to, get back to doing what is right for us. Instead of letting other people impact us so greatly, it's time to start impacting ourselves in the same way that we've given our power away to other people to influence us the way that they do. So this could be, I'm going to say, a lot of tension. There's going to be this uncomfortability that takes place where we want to just disassociate and check out of life. We don't really want to think about the thoughts and the feelings related to what it is that we have to do in order to provide ourselves with safety, security in our personal relationships. That's when the moon locks into Aquarian energy at 1:30. And it's not until 2 o'clock that the moon in Aquarius actually makes an aspect. It's a positive one, which works in our favor. And it's with Chiron, the wounded healer. So suddenly we are breaking free from the weight, from the confines, the restrictions, the limitations, the existential dread that many of us were getting swallowed up under the Capricorn season energy. So Chiron, yes, is the wounded healer, illuminates the wounds, but shows us the knowledge and the wisdom and the resources in order to heal said wounds. This is a positive interaction. The moon in Aquarius has us emotionally detached to see the bigger, broader picture and the spiritual lessons that are kind of needed by some of the wounds that we need to have happen to us and stay alive and well in order to push us into our power. And so there's a whole huge amount of growth now being realized. There's a huge amount of healing now being realized. There's a huge amount of freedom now being realized, and it feels freaking good. This is a perfect setup for 3:54 p.m. again Eastern Standard Time, when the moon conjuncts the sun, comes together. They're both in Aquarius at 1 degree, 33 minutes. Download your moon guide, listen to your astro forecast. It's a karmic chapter like no other. You better believe it's important. You better believe that it is going to be a brand new vibration, a brand new frequency that we are tapping into. The last aspect that we have here today is with the moon in Aquarius sextiling, which is a beautiful energy, with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, and abundance, who's in Aries energy, just rearing to go, to reinvent ourselves, to put ourselves out there, to seize the day, to create opportunities for ourselves. But of course, as much as we want to take action, this is about visualization, and our dreams are about to get that much bigger. The possibilities that we actually focus on are going to be that much more possible. The whole opportunity under this new moon influence to dream the biggest dream possible and actually be able to manifest it needs to be the vibration and frequency that we sit in pretty much all weekend. And the moon sextiling with Jupiter right now, we are feeling confident. We are feeling, we're feeling really optimistic. We're feeling like anything is possible. We are feeling like progress is being made, like history is being made in a certain sense, like a brand new clean slate is just being presented to us. And it's a whole lot of feels. And in those feels, we are ramping ourselves up, hyping ourselves up like Jupiter loves to do, in order to prepare us, to put ourselves out there, to seize the day, to take those opportunities and run with them. And you best believe we're going to start seeing the manifestation of that throughout the course of this next week.